I'm Billis, head coach, Varsity Hockey, and you're watching Behind the Fence for the OCTV.
Hey everyone, I'm Dave Siseski, and this is Behind the Fence, Episode 3. In this episode, we had a chance to catch up with Athletic Director Jordan Ackerman to discuss the plans for sports moving forward this year and beyond. Also, we caught up with Oxford Avondale United hockey head coach Billis and some of the players as their season is vastly approaching. All that and more coming up next.
I've been playing hockey all my life, and I played high school hockey, I played in college, and my son got into it, and then I started coaching, and I've been coaching for the last, since he's 18 now, and he was probably 7 when I started. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been fun to watch him grow, help kids play, learn the game I love. So it's really enjoyable. You know, they learn how to play as a team. This is a sport you can't do by yourself. I mean, you just can't do it by yourself. And it's not just 5 guys, it's all 15, 20 guys that have to play together. If you only have 2 lines, you might last a little while, but you got to really have 3, 4 lines, and that's where we're at this year. We've got good numbers this year, and we're looking to have a really good year with everybody we got. So. Yeah, they've been really good about it. It was frustrating when the rinks were closed for a couple months when we usually skate in August and stuff like that. But they kept their heads up, and they just wanted that season to go. They just wanted something to happen, and then once things opened up, they were able to play some fall games and really got had some fun with that and enjoyable. And it's just been they've been good about everything that's been going on. That's the easy thing is they've all been pretty flexible. So. We've got a good core this year. We've got 11 seniors, and a couple of them were captains last year. So I'm looking for them to really step up this year and lead by example, lead off the ice, on the ice, and really push these guys to where we got to go. Our goal for the team is going to be to win the league, and that we were in last place last year in our league, in our division. So it's a high goal, but it's definitely one that we feel that we can reach this year. So high school hockey varies so much. It's like every other sport. You could have a team that's really, really good. You can have a team that struggles, and you just don't know from year to year who's going to have what and what kids are playing. So when you set the schedule up, you hope you set up a competitive schedule, and you play the teams that are equal to you. But sometimes kids are better. Sometimes teams are worse. You just don't know. So it's going to be a fun year to find out how we do. I think we're going to have a nice year. I'm a stickler for the little things. I don't like when people don't do things we're asking them to do. I want them to make sure that they're following through on every drill we're doing. If you lose a puck, go get it. If you don't just keep skating. It's just all the little things that I want them to really work on. So that's really what we're really going to start working on now. So.
My name's Nathan Poplars. I play for Oxford Avondale United Hockey. I'm number 71, and I play center. I started playing hockey when I was about 3 years old. I've always gone to the rink about 3 times a week. My family's a big hockey family. Growing up, my dad and my brother always played, so it was always kind of a tradition to grow up in the family. I played travel hockey mostly my whole life, from Troy to Bloomfield here, and then started playing high school hockey about a year ago. Definitely my favorite team so far, and I'm looking forward to what's coming. Personally, I love to grind. I love the physicality. Of course, the goal scoring is fun and all, but just like seeing the team go hard in the corners, on the ice, the hitting, it just gets me going. I love to see it. My favorite player right now in the league is probably Sidney Crosby or Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid because he's really young, he keeps his speed up, and Sidney Crosby just because he's a veteran, he just sets an example for the rest of the league. Walking into the team last year, Coach Billis did a great job developing this program. It's had a rough couple of years, but last year we really sparked something. This year it's looking well, we're getting the chemistry going. Coach Billis started coaching yesterday, and I think it's going to be a great season. This year, expectations are to keep good team camaraderie. We definitely have a very skilled set of players. I think we need to work on just working hard every shift. I definitely would like to set a goal of winning our OAA league and possibly winning a couple playoff games.
Hi, my name is Bennet. I'm number 5 on the Avondale United hockey team. One thing I remember is when I first started skating, the skates were too big, so I'd have to put 3 layers of socks on. So that was one of my fondest memories. I grew up learning how to skate at the Onyx in Rochester, and soon I migrated over here and started playing hockey. I've been playing with the same travel team for 8 years now. I played last year with OA, and I was the leading scorer and point leader as well. So looking forward to this season especially. Should be a good one. I was leading scorer last year with 24 goals and 36 points. I feel like I'm definitely a support player for a lot of the guys, but I definitely like to take the puck end to end when I can. Another one of my favorite players is Alex Ovechkin. He's got a remarkable slap shot. So those are 2 of my biggest idols right there. I'm really fond of Coach Billis. I love what he's done with the program. He's really built it up the last few years. Bringing me on last year, I think, was a great move for him, and it's led to a great team this year, so we're looking pretty good. So this year the competition's looking pretty good. We had some tough games last year, but we're hoping to win the league this year. That's our main goal. Personally, I'm hoping to beat my scoring record from last year and have at least 25 goals and close to 40 points. So.
Hi, I'm Jake Billis. I play for Avondale United, and I'm a forward. I've been playing hockey for a while now. I started out playing house, and it's kind of just like a rec thing. And I played for 3 years, 2 or 3 years. Then I went to play travel for about 5 years, and now I'm playing high school. And honestly, high school is probably the most fun I've had, just because I get to enjoy the sport. I don't have to worry about, like, I guess you could say, like, competing at that top level. Like, this is just fun. And now that we have a good team, I can think about, like, winning the league, winning something like that, like competing at that level again. So I'm really excited for this year. My playing style, I'm definitely more of a playmaker, and I like to consider myself a defender too. I don't really score all that often, but when I do, it counts a lot, especially to me. I like to score, but I also like to get assists and make plays happen and try to be a leader as best I can. So playing for my dad, it's been different. So I really started, he wanted to always help out, but once I started playing travel, he became the coach, and then ever since then he's just been my coach, and I think he expects a lot from me, and honestly it pushes me harder because I know what he expects from me, so I need to get to that point. He's always my dad, but when we're here it's like a different thing, like you can add to it. He's a coach too, like I can't just be like, hey dad, I need to be like coach, like I need to refer to him as coach. I need to have more respect towards him, so it's definitely different. My favorite player is definitely Nicholas Lidstrom. He retired a few years ago. I went to his retirement ceremony at the Joe. That was pretty cool, but yeah, he's definitely my favorite player. His leadership, his just play style was awesome to watch, and I really miss watching him. He was cool, so. I'd say for the team chemistry, we've got a really good group. Me and about 3 other guys have been playing since my freshman year, and it's been a long ride. We've been through a lot with this team, and especially after last year when we were actually making a comeback a little bit, and I got hurt early on. I'm ready to come back. They're ready to be here. I think everyone wants to be here and want to compete for the league, and maybe even regionals depending on how we do. Like, if we can play well and get that far, that's great.
Hi, my name is Bennet Vogler. I go to Oxford High School. I'm a senior and I'm a forward. Well, at first I played flag football and then I quit on that, and then my mom asked me I had to play a second sport since I did already start baseball, and she was like, got to choose another sport, and I was just like, maybe hockey was a good idea. And I started, and my mom was like, I was named after Brendan Shanahan, so she thought it was a good idea, so I started skating. After a year, I got into it and started playing. My playing style, I'm more physical on the ice. I like hitting a lot, but I try to stay out of the box as much as I can, but it's kind of hard. But yeah, it was when I was a freshman, it was like hard. You had to earn your playing time, work hard in practice, show who you are. And I tried to build up who I was. I moved up to defenseman and center, try to build up, try to get higher in the lines, and then it was hard because we didn't have many guys too, so I wasn't really playing as much, but I tried to show who I was, get better every day, and I got better as we went along during the years. And then after a couple years with injuries and stuff, it's been hard, but I feel like after this year, we have a chance at something. My expectations for me is to become a better teammate and a better role model to like the younger ones, trying to get them better too, and then hopefully for the team at least get over 500 and hopefully go far in the playoffs. That's what I'm really hoping, and hopefully get more get a better chemistry for sure. I feel like I became like a better person throughout school, like more academically. I've gotten better because like showing that I really need to be good outside of here just to be able to play, or else I won't be able to do stuff. I feel like I became a better person overall, and it's a great feeling to even be out here still to play, because during Corona we weren't allowed to even be here, so like it was hard. And now that we're getting the opportunity to even come out here and play, it like takes time, because being out in quarantine, it was like really hard to not be able to see like our teammates, and now we're here. It takes like that like feeling out of our heads that we get to all see each other, and it makes us more happy and be able to play with them alongside each other.
Hi, I'm Zach Townsend with Oxford Varsity Soccer, and you're watching Behind the Fence. One thing that inspired me is just my family always being around sports. My dad and my mom both played sports. My brother's playing sports before me, so I decided I should start getting into something. I played a lot of sports when I was younger, like basketball, baseball, stuff like that, but soccer I've always liked. Been playing around Oxford my whole life, moved around Pontiac to start playing with better teams there, and now I'm back where it all started at Oxford High School. I'd say I'm just a consistent, strong player. I mean, if you give me the ball, you know I'm just not going to lose it. You can just count on me to do exactly what my job is. I'm usually either hanging out with friends, or I'm in school all the time, you know, because we got a lot of schoolwork, or I'm just working out. Always trying to be a better player, better person. Yeah, I'm playing at Oakland University. Hopefully I can get some time in there. I'm looking to fill a role because they're losing a lot of good seniors, so I'm just going to keep working so I can get some time in. Soccer gives back to me just one thing mainly, which is friendships. You meet a lot of new people playing on other teams, but most especially your own team. You meet a lot of new guys, new friends, new stuff to do, hang out with, even outside of sports, stuff like that. Well, you know, just when you hear about the news, you know that it's going to be really different, but the love of soccer, it just stays with you, and you know that you want to get out there and get back playing. So you do whatever you do, even if it's just by yourself, because you can't really see other people. You just work on it by yourself to get better, so when it all gets back to normal, it'll be like you never left.
Hi, I'm Tristan Bennet. This is Oxford Soccer, and you're watching Behind the Fence. I really just started playing on the playground at elementary school, and I was just like, oh, this is really fun. I played all of the sports. I know how to play everything, but I would just gravitate to soccer, and I watched David Beckham because my mom thought he looked good, so I watched him play, and he really was like my idol growing up, and he really pushed me to be a player. I'm actually not that good at keeping focus. I just do whatever I can to try to stay in the game, you know, like I just watch it and make sure I'm telling my team what to do, but other than that, it's like oh, that's cool, that's a cool moon out there, so. But as soon as it gets anywhere into our half, it's like a switch. I'm ready. Make sure that's not coming in my goal. I think it would just describe me as a very energetic person, and I'm just athletic enough to play goalie, and I just don't want to lose. No matter what we're doing, I'm hyper competitive. Our chemistry is a lot better than every other year we've had. We've actually want to be here and go hang out with each other after practice, have our own special practices on the weekends just with the team. We all want to win and get better, and we're a real team this year. We just kept practicing and playing like there was going to be a season. Just anytime somebody says something negative on the team, like if we're not going to have a season, we're like, hey, we don't want any of that. We're just all positive, make sure the games are still going on, you know, in our heads. I want to go to college, you know, and then go eventually make it to pros and make a living off of it and just play the sport I love.
Yeah, I'm absolutely proud of our athletes. I'm also proud of our parents and the staff as a whole. I mean, everybody who's involved with the whole school system. I mean, look at it this way. So you play a sport your entire life, right? You play from the time you're 4 or 5 years old, and then you know you're 16, 17, 18 years old, and then all of a sudden you have to wear a mask, you have to do all these different things. So it was a challenge, you know, it was a challenge for a lot of the kids, but they bought in immediately. You know, they're wearing the masks, they're socially distancing when they can. I know I was running up the bleachers at a football game, I had my mask on, and I got to the top, and I was just like, how do these guys do it, you know? Part of that is because I'm out of shape, but you know, I'm very proud of the kids, and you know, their willingness to do what they have to do to keep playing. So you know, quite a task for them and quite an undertaking, but they take it on every day. Yeah, the MHSA, they just announced the other day that they're planning on to go forth as a normal year, you know, so with scheduling. Obviously, it's going to look a little different with the wearing of masks during games, during practices, with the 20% capacity in the gymnasiums. We could also be at the 2 spectators per participant as well, depending on gym sizes. So, you know, that's where we're currently at. They're supposed to release some further guidance on the particular sports within the next couple of days. I know they came out with competitive cheer today. They also came out with junior high and middle school wrestling today as well. So we're looking at diving deep into those documents and figuring out exactly what the protocols are, and we're going to make sure we follow those. Yeah, I mean, we have phenomenal coaches in our system here, and they work extremely hard for the kids, and the kids come to practice and work extremely hard for each other. So I mean, that's kind of been the recipe for success here, is just everybody buying in, everybody working hard for each other. You know, they don't come to the field saying it's about me. They come to the field to take it on for their brothers and sisters, and you know, just take on the whole team concept and play for the community of Oxford. I sure hope not, but yeah, I mean, that's as an athletic director, that's I can't make that call. You know, you'd want to reach out to the governor's office for that answer. But yeah, I mean, I hope things slow down. I hope you know, we're able to get back to normalcy here. You know, for the sake of the kids, for the sake of just the frustration of you know, the environment, just getting through this. So you know, I look forward to that time. But in the meantime, we're going to work together and focus on doing the things we're supposed to do so we can get out of this. I think in any environment, really, when people are challenged, you really see the best of them come out. In some cases, you also see the worst, but you know, when we're speaking of the best things, you're seeing people who step up, who have never stepped up before, and they're doing things that they never have done before because they want to do it for the community, they want to do it for the kids. You know, and speaking of the kids, you know, just the things they have to do on the daily, you know, the things they're not used to, where they've spent their whole lives doing things differently, and they have to step up as well. So, I mean, just like Mr. Throne said, you know, he's probably the proudest superintendent in the state. Well, I'm probably the most proud athletic director in the state with what our kids do and our coaches do on a daily basis. Well, I mean, there was a lot of guidance from the state that came through. We prepared for the worst each day. The frustrating part was you would prepare for something and spend, you know, 5 days on putting together documents and communication to send out to the community. And right when you're about to do that, everything would change. So that's just kind of the environment we're going through, and you know, it really doesn't matter. As long as our kids are safe, that's really all that matters to me. I was just happy we were allowed to have a season. So that's the key here. You know, I think sometimes we get caught up into the, you know, I guess the intricacies of this, and you know, we have to really pay attention and look and just be happy that we were allowed to compete, we were allowed to play. So it's important our kids are active. It's important for their mental health. So I mean, it's been tough, but I'm proud of our kids. I received the call from Mr. Bell over at Lake Orion. It was on my way home. It was about 10 o'clock at night. I was leaving the JV football game, and he called and said that they had a COVID case and they were not going to be able to play. So I immediately got on the phone with Brighton, because I knew they lost their game as well, and they were interested. They wanted to play, but they had to get back to me once they talked to their head coach. So I waited for a little bit, called back, and at this point it was probably 11 o'clock, 11:15, and their athletic director said, I can't get a hold of my coach. I think at the very least we can play, but we'll probably have to play on Saturday, but I think my coach is in bed sleeping. So in the meantime, I called over to Lance Cruz North's AD, because I just heard that they lost their competition for the next day, and he answered his phone. It sounded like he just woke up out of bed. And I asked him if he wanted to play. He said, absolutely, let's get it on the books. So I know, just sitting there at the kitchen table, working with my event coordinator, Mr. Brian Brandenberry, we contacted the officials, we contacted the game day workers. You know, there was a lot we had to update the scoreboard material, update the commercials. I mean, we were up till 4 in the morning getting things ready, and then you know, we were here at 7 in the morning, ready to get things rolling out here, getting the field set up, make sure everything was sprayed down and sanitized, and all the equipment was ready to go for the kids. I mean, pretty much everything you've seen, all the guidance has come down from the state level and from the MHSA. It's all, you know, all the same. I mean, behind the scenes, it's really more just communication, making sure all the coaches are on the same page, making sure they're, you know, following through with making sure the kids are wearing masks. I mean, there's no doubt that's been a challenge. I mean, if you think about it, say you're a football player and you have a mask on your helmet, that's a clear visor, but at some point you have to take it off for a national anthem, right? So you're not going to have your visor at that time. So that was one thing we didn't even consider, right? We've never been through this before. So I know that was, you know, one hurdle that we had to get over. And then another hurdle is, you know, they come out of the locker room, they take their helmet off to put their cleats on, because they're not allowed to have cleats in the building. Well, they don't have their masks on, right? So, you know, it was just, we're learning as we go. So each day brings a new challenge, and you know, we're going to keep working towards being perfect. Obviously, you know, I don't think we're ever going to be perfect, but we're going to keep striving for that. As far as misconceptions, I feel like everybody's on the same page for the most part. I mean, obviously in this political world we're living in right now, with the election coming up here, you know, you get different viewpoints that come in and different opinions. We don't get to play that game or jump in on that game. We follow the guidelines, and that's all we can do, and that's all we will do. But again, we're just proud of our community, proud of our parents, staff, kids, and things have been fairly smooth considering. Yeah, I mean, and a piece of that is, obviously, athletics, there's a huge mental piece to that, along with the physical piece, which is an obvious piece that everybody sees. But one thing you have to consider is, say we said, hey, basketball, we're not going to be able to play, at the school. Those kids are going to play anyway, and they're going to play at a gym somewhere else, and they're not going to have masks on. They're not going to follow the guidelines, right? And I think we would see an outbreak. Where we have a controlled environment and we're able to make sure these kids have a safe environment to play in, that's important. And I think that's part of the reason why it's super important we have sports in the schools during this pandemic. Yeah, for spring sports like baseball and softball and tennis and golf, track and field. But there were several comments. There was a lot of kids who were feeling anxious. That's one thing you see. I guess the best way to describe it would be our first day back with all the kids during lunchtime. I remember just like standing in the lunchroom and looking at all the kids, and they were different kids, like in the sense of you could see like a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety. They were quiet, they were reserved because they haven't been in that social environment in a while. But after like 2-3 days, it was like they were back to normal, and they need that. They need that interaction with each other. I just can't explain how important that is for their mental health and just the overall kid. I was feeling anxiety just like everybody else, and it was important for me to get back and just be around the kids and be around the building. And after you would have that like first week coming back where you were kind of scared, you were anxious, and after a week or so, like it kind of felt normal again. Obviously, you're following the guidelines and whatnot, but it feels great to be back, and it's so important that we have these kids here.
Thank you for tuning in to Behind the Fence, and of course, special thanks to the hockey team as well as Jordan Ackerman for their time. Till next episode, have a great night, everyone, and go Cats!